Your subconscious mind does amazing, even miraculous things when you are sleeping. It actually problem solves. It does something called idea generation. It comes up with all kinds of amazing things. And you can tap into that power when you understand how to specifically dialogue with your mind just before you sleep. You will get amazing extra benefits from sleeping. I call sleep nature's restorer because it does the most amazing, incredible things for us every night, and yet 1 in 4 people say that they struggle to go to sleep. 1 in 4 say they struggle to stay asleep. They wake up all the time. And 1 in 3 say that, well, no, I do sleep, but I wake up feeling tired. I don't wake up feeling refreshed and wide awake and raring to go. When you're asleep, your mind will problem solve. Imagine getting to bed and saying, hey, where did I put my keys? I had an instance last year when I couldn't find my phone. It was the strangest thing. I knew I'd had it. It was switched off. I couldn't find it. I went to bed and I woke up. And as I woke up, I had a vision. I remembered I'd stuck it on the tripod to film something for YouTube. And of course, I'd looked around the house, but I hadn't looked there. But my mind, the minute I woke up, told me where my phone was. I can go to bed and say to my mind, hey, mind, tell me where that is. Remind me to do that. Fix that problem. Answer that question. Geniuses do this all the time. They go to bed and they say, oh, I have a situation here. Should I do this or that? I will find the answer while I'm sleeping. They may say to the mind, hey, mind, while I'm asleep, I want you to tell me, what is the answer? What should I do? Which decision should I make? And then you are programming your mind to start dreaming, and you will dream the answer. I dreamt my entire NICE meditation while I was sleeping. I was in Thailand. I woke up and I dreamt about creating this NICE meditation, the impress, the call in and code in, the erase, the eradicate. I was calling it ICE. Then the next night I realized I could make it nicer, and many people say, you know, I dreamt this. Apparently the man who invented sewing machines dreamt about that mechanism, the arm and the needle, in his sleep. Because of course a needle, the fat end has the thread, and when he was trying to make a mechanical sewing machine, he just couldn't work out how that would work until he dreamt about the thread going through the tiny point. Einstein used to sit in a chair with a big, heavy ball bearing in his hand, sit in a rocking chair and rock backwards and forwards, go to sleep. And as he slept, his hand would drop, the ball bearing would hit the ground, he would wake up. And he had all these genius ideas. In fact, many geniuses will say, you know, I go and lie under a tree, I look at the sky, I fall asleep, and I wake up with amazing ideas. So you need to be able to harness that too, to make sleep your very best friend, to be like Einstein, to problem solve in your sleep, and even more amazing, to come up with incredible ideas, genius ideas, to create, to use your imagination while you are sleeping. So people have often got sleep all wrong. They go, I need to go to sleep. Well, that's very confusing to your mind. When you get into bed and you pull the cover and you turn off the light, you're not going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. So the very fact is, I've got to go to sleep. I've got to go to sleep. When you've got into bed with the intention of going nowhere, confuses the mind. And talking about falling, that's even more confusing. We are born with very few fears, but one of them is falling, especially falling backwards. That's an innate fear that we are born with. So when you get into bed and you talk about falling, I need to fall asleep. I need to fall asleep now. I hope I can fall asleep in the next 10 minutes. I've got a busy day and I must fall asleep. I can't seem to fall asleep. Why can't I fall asleep like other people do? The mind doesn't even like the word falling. A couple of years ago, I was with my husband in San Diego, and his friend said, hey, I'm just about to go to the airport. I dread that night flight to London. I can never fall asleep on a plane. I went, well, you don't really want to use the word falling on a plane. Definitely know where to go when you're strapped into your seat, but why don't you do this? Strap in your seat, make yourself comfortable, and then use these magic words. Sleep is coming to me. Sleep is descending upon me and staying with me for 8 hours. And he called me and went, wow. I was in economy and I slept all the way to London, the best flight I've ever taken. I said what you said, sleep is coming to me. Sleep is descending upon me. It's dropping onto me like a mist. And it was amazing. And I do that all the time. I go to bed and I say, sleep is coming to me now. If I have a busy day, if I've just arrived in another country, in a different, if I say to my mind, hey mind, send sleep to me now. I require, I insist on 8 hours sleep. Send sleep to me. Wake me up after 8 hours, or it might be 6 hours. Depends what my schedule is. I like 8 hours. But I don't ask my mind. I don't beg my mind. I command it. I tell it, mind, it's the right time to sleep. I require 8 hours, send sleep to me. Now I can sleep in light. I don't ever shut the curtains in my bedroom, and I sleep anywhere. But if you have a problem with that, actually studies show that we sleep much better when it's dark. So occasionally I put on a little sleep mask. So if you want to sleep better, here's what you can do. The first thing is, don't talk about falling asleep or going to sleep. Say, sleep comes to me. Say to your mind, hey mind, I'm in bed now. I need to sleep for 8 hours. I require that. I insist on it. Bring that to me. Send it to me. Give it to me now. Make sure your room is comfortable. The worst thing you can do is drink a big mug of coffee or tea or lots of water. You don't want to be getting up to empty your bladder. So stop that about 3 hours before you sleep. Wear sleep shades or keep the room really dark if you prefer to, because it does give you a better quality of sleep, sleeping in the dark. Make sure your room isn't too hot or indeed too cold, but too hot is actually worse. And make sure your sheets are nice and comfortable. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to have a completely silent, soundproof room. You'll notice people asleep on planes, asleep on trains, asleep in cars. And it's noisy and it's light. But if you decide to let sleep come to you, to use those words, I'm in my bed, I'm so relaxed, and sleep is descending upon me like a mist, and it's carrying me right through until my required wake-up time in the morning, because that might change. You can say 6 a.m., 8 a.m. It's up to you. Make a decision that as a baby, you could sleep in light. You would drift to sleep in someone's arms. My baby, I found her once in her sandpit, sitting up deeply asleep. I found her once sitting on the bottom step, deeply asleep. Babies can sleep anywhere, whether it's noisy or quiet, hot or cold, light or dark, and so can you. It's a decision. I've decided to reactivate, remanifest, regenerate, and recreate the habits of sleep that I was born with. You were born with perfect habits of sleep. There was no effort required, and you can reactivate them, regenerate them, and remanifest them right now. So remember, sleep is nature's restorer. You have within you the power to enjoy beautiful sleep. One of those people who can sleep on a train, on a plane, in a new country, on a different time zone. You can sleep in light, in dark, with people, alone. Don't allow yourself to say, well, I can't sleep where there's a clock in them. I can't sleep when someone snores. I can't sleep in a new place. You can sleep anywhere when you give yourself the right words. And remember, it's a choice. So if you want to enjoy beautiful, powerful sleep and really get extra benefits from it, go ahead and click the link below so that you can have deeper, smarter sleep all the time. Check out my next video here.